So it's about that time. It's time for the IRS train wreck of the week. And this is the segment of the show where we talk about somebody who came into the office and, frankly, they were just a train wreck. I mean, it was just a mess. They owed a ton of money to the IRS. And through our diligent efforts, things worked out just fine. This one is almost unbelievable, but I assure you it's true. Okay, so I had a husband and wife who came in, and wife was nearing approaching retirement age. I want to say she was maybe 65, 66, something like that. And she had a husband who was actually suffering from cancer. And for whatever reason, they ended up owing $191,363. So over $190,000. And the IRS was levying their paycheck. Now, the missus, who was the one working, was not making a lot of money. And husband had cancer, and he was sitting at home all day, probably suffering in pain. And the IRS started levying their paycheck and was making things even harder. I mean, I can't even imagine having my spouse go through cancer, let alone having the IRS taking, huge chunks of my paycheck and levying my bank accounts and things like that.
When it rains, it pours, though, right?
So
That's how it all happens.
Yeah. So we were able to contact the IRS and get them put into what's called hardship status, where the IRS agreed that, they couldn't afford to pay anything. But the problem was there was still a long time left on the statute of limitations. So the IRS still had a number of years to collect this money. And so hardship status wasn't really a solution. It was more of a Band-Aid. I stopped the pain, the immediate pain, which was the tax levies and whatnot. But they really wanted a complete solution. And I can remember that they were really super strapped for cash. And Mr., because he was going through chemotherapy and whatnot, he was communicating with us quite a bit, and he was not a happy camper. He was not a nice guy, quite frankly, and he was really, really hard to deal with. And he was kind of angry at the world. And I'm not sitting here in judgment saying that was even a problem. It's just the reality of the situation. He was a hard guy to deal with. And so when we filed the offer in compromise, we offered $50. And I have to admit,
and he owed $191,000.
Okay. And I offered $50, and I did this in part because I was slightly irritated with him, and I was way major irritated with the IRS. So I offered $50, and so they worked the file, and they come back and they go, "Hey, we got a problem here. We've got one of these liabilities is for the other spouse. So we have to do another offer. So you need to offer some more money." I'm like, "Okay, fine, $20 more." So for a total of $70.
$70?
I offered them $70. And I know there's people who aren't going to believe this, but the IRS took $70 on $191,360.